We got Monster Cat Uncaged Volume 6 album mix.
Oh man, you're pulling out the fucking Uncaged Volume 6 album mix for today.
Yeah, apparently we're already an hour into it. I don't know when I played this or where.
I got a Twitch ad. God damn it.
Imagine not having ad blocker in the current year. Also,
So
Twitch ads go through ad blocker sometimes.
yeah, exactly. Also, really depressing. I have ad blocker, right? But op.gg must have changed their ads because now they go through ad blocker, and op.gg without ad blocker is like a cancerous site. It's like 20 fucking ads at any given point.
Yeah, mine are still blocked, luckily. So, I want to get a new ad blocker.
Maybe I need to update mine. Yeah.
Dropping
Surprised.
frames. It says that I have dropped 0 frames so far.
It doesn't look like it's dropping frames.
And
It did for a second there, but I might just have been loading.
Yeah, I had an encoder overloaded message, but it went away as soon as I clicked on this.
Encoder overloaded. Oh man.
I am using a lot more of my CPU than normal, but I don't have anything additional up.
It's just my presence. My presence causes your computer
I mean, I'll
to go
close
haywire.
that. And this, I guess. Oh yeah, my computer's fighting it a little.
It not having a good time?
Yeah, I wonder what's going on. Normally I don't have any issues. But yeah, it still says 0 drop frames, so that's good. But it's using like 47% of my CPU, which is not normal. Normally it's sitting around 30.
Do you think we need to reset or anything?
I'm gonna restart the game and see if that helps.
Okay. Let's try that.
Yeah, that didn't really clear a whole lot. Let me investigate and see what's running out my processes really quick. Oh, OBS is just destroying my computer right now. Okay. So that's good.
And giving you a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, I'm gonna restart, for the stream, sorry, I'm gonna restart OBS. It'll take the stream down for just a little bit, but we'll get it right back up. Although now it's dropping as soon as I'm starting to say that. Yeah, it's still, OBS by itself is apparently eating like 47%, so let's restart that. We'll be right back. Oh, and then it immediately kicks up to 61. Okay, so I'm gonna imagine that the last update just kind of did something not super happy to it. Alright. Let this be a lesson to you to never update OBS.
Literally never. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I've updated my OBS in like over a year. Every time I open it up, it's like, hey, you want to update? I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah, normally it's nice because it'll add like, oh hey, I kind of wanted this feature, but nope. Just gonna wait a minute, make sure we're still live. If anybody's watching, if you'll let me know if we are. At least something resembling live, I guess. Oh wow, this song is... You know, that was really uncalled for. He didn't need to scream like that.
Oh, I can't hear the music.
Yeah.
How aggressive was the scream?
He was kind of into it, you know? Oh. That's not a nice word to use.
What kind of music are you listening to, Maris?
Monster Cat Uncaged Volume 6.
Oh yeah, you told me.
He's
Why does
completely he's completely uncaged, apparently. I'm just gonna close that. Maybe we'll do without some music for a second. We'll see how that goes.
it just means we need you to sing, right?
Yeah, something like that. Is the stream up and good?
I'm assuming it's up. I see the stream starting.
Okay.
Slide.
Okay. Well, would you like to get started then?
Always.
Okay. So, we're going to transition into this. Unfortunately, because we are casting from replays, we're not going to have picks and bans. So, welcome everybody. This is week 4? 5. I don't know. It's a week of the Get Wrecked Summer Splash. My name is Meristematic. Casting with me today is Aikido. We have for you one of the 2 winners bracket games from the Uncapped League. This will be the Poopoo Crew versus Return of the Middlesticks.
Yeah, the young PPC against our very own ROTM. We'll see if they're who will come out on top here. PPC last time we saw them were little troll in their drafts. So we'll see if they continue with that. Perhaps just looking at the summoner share, it looks like funnel again. So maybe continuing to be a little bit troll. We'll see how well they're able to pull it off.
Yeah, in this game, probably the favorites of the tournament would be PPC up against Return of the Middlesticks, who are the defending Diamond Cap champions from GRLCS. So I'm excited to see how this game goes. A little bit less excited to see that our Spring Split MVP is not available for this match. Instead, it'll be Zormata filling in for Tendies 2 for Return of the Middlesticks, and we'll talk a little bit as we get into game about how that's going to affect the way that they have to play. But if you're ready, Mr. Aikido, sir, we'll go ahead and start.
I am ready.
All right, 3, 2, 1, start. And welcome to Summoner's Rift. On the bottom side of the map, oh, I have chat up. There we go. Okay, on the bottom side of the rift, wearing the blue health bars this game will be the Poopoo Crew. I arranged this in the way that I thought it worked out, but it's going to be 23 in the top lane playing Cho'Gath with Smite. There's a funnel effectively taking the jungle and mid rolls with Ot9 and 68 playing Sivir and Lulu, and then our bot lane will be 43 and 89 playing Azir and Ryze.
Yeah, and on the red side, perhaps a bit more conventional of a comp here. We have Liposuction Lane in the top lane on the Poppy, Zormata in the jungle with the Ignite Hecarim, Dat Dang Dude in the mid lane with Vel'Koz, and then Prodigium and Maximus 127 with the Xayah and Yuumi bottom lane.
Yeah, Prodigium is a rename, of course. It's still Fourth Shot, the boy wonder in the 80 carry role. Yeah, so the big thing to note is with Tendies not available for this game, Zormata filling in for him, and they're missing that big carry player, maybe trying to make Zormata into that filling in that role with the Ignite Hecarim.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with Zormata. I don't know if they've played a lot with him. So it'd be really interesting to see if they're able to adapt, especially since this team does rely so much on Tendy Stu's presence. Was the MVP for Diamond Capped last split, spring split. So we'll see if they're able to do well enough without him. As we see the Sivir starting on the red buff already with the funnel.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
interested to see. They still haven't reverted the changes to funnel, so we'll see that reduced gold, I'm sure, come through when Sivir and Lulu decide to stop by the mid lane. but I'm more interested, I guess, being more familiar with Return of the Middlesticks. We know Tendies, we know Return of the Middlesticks is a team that really likes to scrap early and often. And without that sort of big keying factor in Tendies being available to them, if they'll take a more passive approach to this game.
Which I think would probably end up being a mistake, just because the PPC, this funnel is going to scale extremely well. And then they even have Rise and Azir support in the bottom lane. All these champions scale extremely well with items, so if they're able to make it into the mid game unharassed, I imagine that would be pretty good for PPC.
Yeah, and worth noting, Return of the Middlesticks won the spring split with a Master Yi funnel, the sort of more classical funnel strategy. So you would think if there's a team in the tournament equipped to deal with a funnel on the other side, it would hopefully be Return of the Middlesticks. I guess we'll see how they choose to play this one out as 68 hits level 2 and odd 9, just starting to auto-attack down with that red buff, and that dang dude takes a big trunk on that Vel'Koz.
Yeah, he's trying to keep that mid lane shoved in, trying to keep the dual lane there, so that they're not able to farm the jungle. Vel'Koz, in that sense, was probably a pretty good pick here. You have a lot of wave clear, you have a lot of, there aren't a lot of mana costs, right? So you're not going to run out of mana very quickly. And Hecarim already was able to go in, take the enemy blue buff, take the enemy wolves as well. So, in one way or another, slowing down this funnel is probably exactly what you want to do for RTM.
Yeah, if he can successfully get back to his blue quadrant, which looks like he should be able to, that's effectively a 3 buff and almost a full 3 quadrant, which is a nice little advantage, although Sivir not going to be hurting too much in that gold just because of picking up all the waves in mid.
Yeah, imagine that. Either way, this is probably a really good start for the Hecarim, especially since Vel'Koz is going to keep, the Sivir and Lulu lanes shoved in. Hecarim should be able to pick up both crabs as well. He's going to be massive. Close to level 5 by the time that he looks for a base. This is definitely an extremely strong Hecarim after a base, I think.
Yeah, I am kind of wondering where you're looking to go with the Hecarim, because right now we're seeing effectively all 3 lanes shoved pretty far in. I know that dang dude catching a wave at tower right now, but it's hard to find that particular gank angle when all of your lanes are shoving.
Oh, if Hecarim can get these rubber banded raids? Oh my god. Hecarim's actually doing so well with his pathing here to really shut down the funnel, and I like that ROTM is able to keep the bot and mid lanes shoved in pretty effectively. Just because I feel like that's sort of how you beat funnel, is you keep them shoved in and then you control their jungle, and try and keep them from being able to hyper farm that Sivir.
Yeah, I feel like there's 2 kind of competing strategies. Well, we're going to watch Prodigium get rooted up, take a bunch of damage from a Sand Soldier. Maximus pops back out to face tank a little bit of damage for him. But there's 2 competing strategies, right, to deal with funnel. You either have to attack it directly, or you kind of outscale in quotation marks because you have 5 scaling champions as opposed to 4, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
I think attacking it has been typically more successful.
For sure. Although I think the perma-shove route isn't that bad. If the amount of CS that you're able to get as funnel is, even with the mid laner, then, having an extra champion farming should be enough that they're able to, create a lead for themselves. I mean, just look at it. Dat dang dude is up in CS on the Sivir. Even though Sivir's the funneler. The other thing to keep in mind here is that because Sivir is farming jungle camps, you touched on a little bit earlier, with the Monster Hunter passive, I imagine she has it? Yeah, she has Monster Hunter. That means from caster, she's only getting 4 gold. She's getting 10 less gold on every minion kill. So even though she has similar CS to the Vel'Koz, she is down in gold by almost 100. It's something that adds up, and it doesn't go away until she ends up completing her jungle item.
Yeah, 23 in liposuction lane, going to go ahead and scrap up in the top lane. 23 getting a little bit better at that trade, and doesn't have Feast available, so we won't see that big execute coming through. Probably why he's backing off.
Yeah, and I don't know if we touched on it. The smite on Cho'Gath doesn't seem like the optimal pick. Maybe wanting to go for the Cinder Hulk, get to be a really big beefy boy. So not having the teleport, it kind of impairs your laning phase.
Oh,
So we see
Zormata comes
Zormata.
in. Yeah, they're invading on this red buff. The 2v2 smite gonna go to Ot9 on the Sivir, so not able to secure that red buff, and uh, Sivir with red buff, pretty good, as it turns out.
Yeah, definitely will
I do like
allow them
this,
to
though.
apply a little bit more pressure there in the mid lane as RTM's just sort of doing the dragon.
Yeah, the bot lane they saw back, and they'll take advantage of having that numbers and take the air dragon. Dat dang dude has to return to mid lane, of course, to deal with the push from the Sivir. But first objective of the game essentially that air dragon going over to return to the Middlesticks.
Yeah, which will definitely help them, especially with champions like, anyone that Yumi's on top of or the Hecarim. They really like that move speed. Um, that said, that roam into the jungle kind of hurt ROTM as we see Dat Dang Dude is now down in CS against the Sivir, no longer, keeping any sort of a lead there.
Oh, the flash forward and the feast for 23 is going to be first blood for the Poopoo crew.
And first blood at 8 minutes. This is definitely different than what we were expecting to see from ROTM or what we've seen in the past. So we see Hecarim look for a gank here.
The,
Not quite able to find anything.
yeah, the Rise route against Hecarim is actually really key. If he can continually get that off, it's going to prevent Zormata from building up that movement speed, especially with the Zoomies and the Cloud Dragon and kicking somebody for just 1,000,000,000 damage. So I actually
Yeah.
really like the Rise pick into Hecarim.
Post 6 with the Hecarim, he has a little bit more agency in that he can buffer his ultimate to go through the route, but either way, it definitely makes it harder for Zermata to exist in this bottom lane. So we see just so much poke coming out from this Azir, who ended up opting for just completing the support item. Ryze sitting on its ear, heading towards the Archangels.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested now that's liposuction lane down in the bottom lane. They're going to send Prodigium and Maximus up to the top lane to deal with the Cho'Gath. And without the dragon on the map, maybe a clean tactical decision. They're looking for that Rift Herald here in a little under a minute, or probably a little over, more realistically. But what do you think about the lane swap right now?
Definitely interesting. I don't think it's a bad one, as the extra armor plating on the top and mid turrets that the bot lane turret doesn't have has gone away by the 9-minute mark, so they aren't losing any extra pressure necessarily. If they're able to turn this into a early Rift Herald pick, or contest all this vision in the top side of PPC's jungle, it could be an effective swap for them. That said, I think that Poppy's going to have a lot of trouble underneath turret against this Azir, against this Ryze. They just have so much poke. I'm not sure how much she'll actually be able to farm.
Yeah, and even perhaps more difficult, you spec for the Bomby's Cinder, so headed toward that Sunfire cape. Doesn't even have like the Spectre's Cowl or something like that built up right now, so the magic resist a little bit lacking is going to be a bit rough for liposuction lane right now, and he's already a little bit behind his sort of traditional lane opponent in that Cho'Gath.
Yeah, especially after giving up first blood, coming down here with a Bomby Cinder that he really can't use on this wave because he can't step up. Just not a good situation for him to be in. If our team's able to build advantages in the other lanes and take down that turret, or pressure Cho'Gath off, then it definitely could be worth. It looks like they're making an early rotation in this mid lane,
Yeah,
trying to get some plates off there.
they grab the
And
Rift Herald. Liposuction lane's in trouble though underneath this turret. Just gonna grab back the Buckler shield. Is 89 looking to dive him. Dives back forward, but he'll get taken down. The Shelly is in mid. That'll be the mid tower going away of Middlesticks, or at least it should be here in another auto, but Cho'Gath's around the side. The Zormata goes in, gonna knock 68 back in, but they've already lost the Yuumi as a result, and now the flank from 43 as he comes in on the Azir, goes for the shuffle. The last auto's gonna take down that dang dude, and the shifting sands will find Zormata as well. Prodigium picks up one kill on the back end, but now it'll be the PPC starting to chase him down. It's a 3-for-1 in favor of PPC, and Prodigium forced to run away from Ot9.
And I think it was actually 4-for-1 there. They also got the Yuumi kill, but Yumi's pretty low level, so spawned pretty quickly back in. Just probably not worth for our team, as now we're looking at just a 300 gold lead. It feels like it should probably be a little bit more, just based on the score of being 5-1 here for PPC. Definitely an advantageous play. Although they lost their mid lane turret, they picked up several kills. especially picking up kills onto that Azir. You know, the support role generally doesn't have as much income, but if you're picking up kills, you can definitely be a pretty big threat on that character.
Yeah, I do like in bonus, it is the mid lane tower at least against the funnel comp,
Hmm.
which if our team can get back a little bit of map control, they can start taking away all of that jungle from the Sivir rather than just a handful of camps like they have been, which it would be good, assuming they can get back map control. And PPC will do, I'm sure, everything in their power not to let that happen, especially now that 23's taken down that top lane tower. He can look to join up with his team on a more full-time basis, and RTM going for the dragon. I don't know that this is the call right now, although 23 can't quite join. It'll get taken down by Zormata, and that's a second Cloud Dragon going to return to the Middlesticks.
Yeah, it seems like that's a fine trade. They knew that Cho'Gath was going to be getting that top lane turret, so might as well force the 4v5 and try and get that dragon. They end up picking up there in the end, and 2 Cloud Drakes is definitely a lot of move speed for the Hecarim, as
Yeah, GLP
Cho'Gath might
slow
be getting
onto
caught out
20,
here.
onto 23. Prodigium starting to auto attack him down. The Death Ray comes through. Oh,
Oh,
Zormata not quite able to find his mark there as 23 flashes back over the Baron Wall. He's back toward his team. The Hecarim ult coming through. They're going to root him up. They actually can't take down this Cho'Gath. They will finally finish him off, but he's rejoined his team now, and PPC could look to take a fight. Ryze 1v1 against the Poppy down in the bottom lane. Should go the way of Ryze right now.
yeah, I'd imagine so. But either way, a good pick
Oh,
up
that
there for
dang dude, he got so
RT.
minion blocked, and he'll get taken down by an auto from Ot9. Maximus looking for a little bit. The shifting sands is so good, though, to disengage from 43. Ot9 will get rooted up and taken down as Maximus actually takes the kill with the prowling projectile.
Just a little bit of a misplay there for that dang Diz. He gets caught up in his minion wave, takes so much damage, ends up falling, and good on RTM able to trade a kill back onto the funneled Sivir. But Zermata's looking for more here.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
Zormata,
people though.
yeah, this will be a free cat as well. So that's 2 kills. Oh, oh, it will.
Oh,
Just the last auto there. And they'll try to take the Realm Warp in. 98 will root up Prodigium, and that'll be 3 kills basically on just the overextension from Zormata looking for that red buff.
yeah, definitely. It feels like he was a little bit overconfident there. He wasn't expecting the rise to collapse, and he ends up delivering a delicious cat with him too.
Man, and
That's a.
I,
Go ahead.
I was just going to point out the interaction, the polymorph on Lulu as well into the Hecarim. And it feels like they have the tools to deal with the pony trying to run at them. And it's going to be on Zormata to really use his the Onslaught of Shadows to good effect in order to dodge some of that or help buffer it.
Definitely, it's extremely hard to play Hecarim into, you know, all of these champions actually. We saw earlier Azir was able to ult away the Hecarim and waste his E, so Zormata wasn't able to get a return kill in that mid lane, and it's extremely hard to exist as a pony in a world against Lulu Rise Azir.
Yeah, the glue factory out in full force for the PPC.
Yikes. Either way, we're looking at it. It's now a 3k gold lead in favor of the PPC after picking up those kills in their jungle. And, this Azir support, this Rise, and even the Sivir are just so strong at this point. What do you think our team can do to really claw back into this?
I I'm kind of curious where we're going to see both teams go, to be honest, because it feels like those early objectives kind of got met. Our team took down the mid lane turret like they wanted to gain access to the jungle. They need to try to find picks, I think, on people farming jungle camps. And at the same time, PPC has both of the side waves controlled. They need to find a way to siege down mid, which is going to be a little bit of a difficult task against that dang dude who's just been kind of perma-sitting mid on the Vel'Koz.
Yeah, Vel'Koz's fun, fair, and balanced with lots of wave clear and all those extremely high mana costs as we see
So
here.
Armada looking for that pick. They're going to come around the side. The Onslaught of Shadows into Lulu and Sivir. They're trade pretty well so far. 23's here. Going to land the Rupture. Taken low, and the Shifting Sands is pretty good from 43. Gets a lot of damage through as the Sand Soldiers come through, and that'll force Return of the Middlesticks back. It's a 2-for-2 trade, but it feels like PPC comes out a little bit stronger as a result, and they'll get that push on the mid tower.
Yeah, definitely in favor of them as they're on the top side just a little bit with their health bars, and able to take down this mid lane turret. That Cinderhulk Cho'Gath was just so tanky. Just not enough damage from ROTM. They're not able to take him down. He stalls just enough for 43 to come in with the Azir and pick up a couple of kills on the back end of it.
And now they'll take the blue buff, revenge for all of the buffs being taken on their side of the map as they take that away in front of Zormata. And now with the mid lane turret open, we can really go to work with this this team comp for PPC. They're going to group up for this dragon, and it feels like they're the stronger team grouped up. They're the stronger team in side lanes. It's going to be a really tough ask of Return to the Middlesticks. They need to find that perfect team fight, I think, in order to get back into it.
Definitely, and with the Vel'Koz going Iceborne, or not Iceborne, fucking Glacial Augment this game.
Oh,
It seems
Zormata.
like
Oh, he's just dead. 89 picks him up with a solo kill. Now the On the Hunt popped as PPC funnels into the blue side of the jungle. The root up liposuction lane. He's pretty tanky boy on that Poppy right now. Dangdu looking for a little bit of trade back over the wall. He'll hit the geometry, but Cho'Gath just choosing to go ahead and feast down the dragon. That'll be the first one going over to PPC as Return of the Middlesticks has to back off.
And that's Cho'Gath at 40% health, and he still has more health than any of his teammates around him. He's a tanky boy, and now he has that Warmog, so he's going to be healing out of combat. And I was just trying to touch on the Glacial Augment on this Vel'Koz means that they don't have a lot of damage on this team comp for RTM.
Nine steps up, he takes a big chunk out of that. Dang dude's some soldiers as well. It's just going to be a little bit of a trade. Thought that might be a little bit more there.
Yeah. It's a little bit scary, but the slows from Glacial perhaps able to help that dang dude out with his positioning is putting down a good amount of poke. But it just feels like they won't have enough damage within this team comp to actually be able to take down this extremely tanky Cho'Gath. You know, with taking that smite, he's able to pick up Cinderhulk, which of course gives you the extra bonus health, and I don't know. I'm not sure if there's a damage point that ROTM reaches where they're actually able to deal with a Cho'Gath with a Lulu behind him.
Yeah, and that's an interesting point. With this Cinderhulk, he's able to go ahead and rush Warmogs, get that passive immediately, that Heart of Warmogs, where he regens all of his health back. And on 2 items, he's tankier than probably a regular Cho'Gath on like 3. You're missing a little bit of damage and wave clear, I think, but it's also you're missing teleport, which could be important. But
No
here comes Zormata. They're looking to pick up on the Rise, the final chapter, being read to him, but Zormata taking a lot of damage in return. The Realm Warp not going to get him out to safety as Liposuction Lane picks up the kill in the side lane. But what can PPC grab off of this with 3 members committed down to the bottom?
And it's actually RTM who's being the aggressors, you know, chasing PPC out of that mid lane, and RTM, you know, that 900 gold going over onto Poppy will definitely help Liposuction Lane out.
Oh, they find 09, and will take him down immediately as Prodigium lasers through that auto attack, and I think they didn't account for the Poppy just charging in from the side after this Spell Shield had already been used, and 09 goes down, and that'll be Return to the Middlesticks looking for the Baron.
Yeah, it's a little bit scary. This Azir is still really strong. This Cho'Gath is still really tanky.
He's really tanky. He's got Smite and Feast. If they can get vision on this, 68 checks in, doesn't see anything. They'll knock the Cho'Gath into the wall. Can they even kill him as they knock him back into the team? The Death Ray comes through. It's doing true damage, but it's not enough. RTM returns back to the Baron. It's regen back to full health, though. And this is just buying time.
Oh, no. The Rise is respawned. Everyone's
Rise
here.
is respawned. He's back in. That's so much AoE damage from the Rise. Triple kill for 89. Zormata running for the hills. I don't think that he'll be able to get out.
No, probably not. And just a tragedy there for our team is they're not able to get enough damage onto the Cho'Gath to finish him off. And they end up going back onto the Baron. Just it seems like it's a mistake there from them. As they end up giving so many kills over. That's 4 kills specifically to the Rise, 1 to the Lulu, and PPC should be able to just get the Baron for free now.
Yeah, and the Rise bounced that Spell Flux just across all 4 members of Return to the Middlesticks that he could hit. And with the Magic Resist debuff that Baron provides, you saw the like magic damage crit, and then all of a sudden they just had no health left. That was a disgusting amount of damage coming out of it, 89 there.
Yeah,
and then he's going to go back and just pick up a casual death cap. Why not?
Yeah, no, he's a very strong boy, and there's just not enough resistances in the world on the side of ROTM to really deal with him. He's just so absurdly strong at this point. Looking at him, he's at 3 completed items and boots versus Prodigium, the counterpart sort of in that bottom lane. Isn't even at 2 items, doesn't even have the finished Infinity Edge, and
Yeah, and look at
it
the
just
gold
seems.
totals. It's 11,600 on the Rise, and the highest member of Return of the Middlesticks has 7,700. Like, he's got a 4K lead by himself right now. As they find liposuction lane, it's going to force the flash over the wall.
Yeah, he's a pretty strong boy, and sort of highlighted it earlier that PPC with this team comp has a lot of extremely hard scaling champions, and it's hard to see how our team is even going to be able to protect their base for the next few minutes. As that dang dude completing the recall there, just a half a second away from disaster.
Yeah, and just look at the farm totals that have been opened up. It was relatively even early on, but PPC's done such a good job picking up side waves, getting that farm onto members that need it. Although 98 or 89 gets caught out, but that's a huge shifting sands. It'll be an instant triple kill for the Rise as he's looking for more. They'll find the Poppy. Rooter up underneath the tower. Boomerang Blade comes through, but it's not quite enough as 23 doesn't care about your turrets. He'll hit the Rupture. Feast down on Liposuction lane, and PPC has broken open the base.
And what we thought was a catch by that dang dude onto the rise, able to land his abilities, but the Azir support coming over the wall, able to get a pretty massive ult, pushes everyone into all the rise damage, and everyone dies instantly. It's just how strong PPC is right now. They probably could have looked for a bit more off of that. Everyone was dead except for the Hecarim, and Hecarim can't contest anything. They probably could have at least finished the inhib there, but perhaps playing it a little safer, going back for the ocean as
Uh,
Rise is trying to catch a cat.
yeah, final chapter is going to be read to him just to try to keep himself safe as Maximus. Now with that big ult down, you don't have that big engage tool on top of the Hecarim, and that dang dude's in trouble. Oh, gonna just
Oh,
sneak out of the Rupture, though.
yeah, just barely making it out as we see. PPC starting to apply pressure in a few lanes, try to get this Baron buff down, and
Oh, Lane will find 89. I don't think this is a fight that he necessarily wants, but the human ward at least working out, finding that rotation.
yeah, he's a little bit tanky there on that Poppy, but even then, long-term exposure to the Rise is not good for your health, as we see. That dang dude finding the geometry, able to do the quick maths, land the Q onto Rise, but not enough damage yet for it to really matter.
Yeah, the 10k gold lead right now for PPC. It feels like they just need to find one more fight, and they'll be able to close out the game. Um, maybe waiting for that second Baron to spawn here. Shouldn't be too long. I think their Baron buff just wore off, so we're looking at 2-3 minutes for that.
Yep, just a couple more minutes, and with the double smite, with the Cho'Gath consume, they it's not really 50-50ing a Baron when you have that much secure. They could do it pretty much at any point, especially since the Cho'Gath has a Warmogs and now a Stone Plate just so tanky. Would be able to tank that Baron up for days. PPC will be able to apply just so much pressure around that objective. It's kind of funny looking at the Azir support has the exact same number of items as Prodigium, the Xayah 80 carry. Just so strong on that pick now, and Prodigium just hasn't been able to pick up side waves, is falling steadily behind in CS, and that's sort of the story here of the mid game, is that our team just hasn't been able to pick up the side waves. Perhaps their lane assignment's just not quite as crisp as PPC's, and PPC have gotten a massive lead through that, as well as 13 kills as well, I suppose.
Yep, we're set up 4-1 here with Ryze in the top lane, and this will be the siege coming in from the 4-man squad. 43 looking around on that flank, just looking for that shifting sands to knock some people back in, and both of those members up in the top lane have teleport, so we'll see the Vel'Koz and the Ryze be able to join the fight if they are needed.
Yeah,
But yeah,
as we see.
basically anywhere Ryze goes right now is a mismatch for him, so I like leaving the Ryze by himself.
Yeah, he can't leave him by himself for too long though. As
Oh,
you see, Cho'Gath is
Rupture's
just
gonna
a tank.
land is, yeah, Cho'Gath's just tanking up everything. Zormada's around the back, but he doesn't really do a whole lot. They just can't chunk through this Cho'Gath, as now the rest of PPC are left to dive. They've already taken out Zormada. Liposuction Lane will pin Cho'Gath to the wall, but can they even kill him in any reasonable amount of time? A couple more
Oh,
autos. No, he just feasts down on Prodigium. He'll walk back through the turret. Does he have a shield available? Oh, he's gonna die to the
oh,
turret. Yumi picks up the kill. But my god, that was probably 20 tower shots that he took. The Ryze is taking down the top lane turret. He walks into the base. He finds a cat. He finds a whatever Poppy is. She's like a deer in the skin. Oh,
reindeer, right?
yeah, reindeer. That's a double kill for Ryze. That's a couple of auto techs. They're gonna just let the game continue, I guess. Why not?
They're waiting for their power spike, man. They're not strong enough yet, I suppose.
Yep.
This-
Two inhibs open. All three inhibs open. They're just not gonna take any of them, I guess. Yeah.
yeah, as we see
Oh,
Zormada trying to find a pick here, but he's quickly polymorphed and destroyed by this Rise. Rise just so strong.
yeah. Ryze just not quite a 1v3, 2v3 with the Lulu, but that feels pretty final. They do take the top lane inhibitor just with the minion pushing. Uh,
I'm not sure if it's even fair to call it a 2v3 with Rise's items. That's like a 4v3 right there. uh, but either way, Rise has hit full build. The
oh,
Cho'Gath.
it's just Yumi trying to defend all these Nexus turrets. There's so many minions in their base. Look at the slow push from the minions. Um, yeah, Nexus turret number one's gonna go down here. Nexus turret number two's under fire. Uh, they just have built up so much of a minion wave as you're just looking to see if he can solo Baron. Doesn't look like he can quite yet. Uh, teleports coming in. Oh,
They
there.
just want to
What
beat the
is?
family photo at the end.
Yeah, Azir's coming in. Yeah, they're just gonna let their Nexus die. 29 minutes into the game, PPC takes game number one. It goes out with a little bit of a whimper rather than a bang, but um, yeah, the rise was pretty big that game.
Yeah, no, Rise got to be pretty strong. The Azir from 43 was able to set up a few plays there in the mid game. With RTM, perhaps overextending, staying a little bit too long, specifically around that Baron, just sort of threw the game away, and they weren't able to come back into it.
Yeah, it felt like the setup was good from ROTM, but the execution was not, and PPC immediately jumped on any mistake that was made, and especially the amount of magic damage that was available around that Baron was just disgusting. I don't think that that was necessarily even the turning point of the game, but it really highlighted how outcomped in a way that RTM was.
Yeah, and that said, like there were a few good points here for our team. I think that they played the early game relatively well, specifically through their jungle pathing. They were able to get a lead in the mid and jungle against the funnel. It just seemed like Zormata maybe wasn't on the same page as everyone else. He got caught out at that red buff with the Yumi trading over a few kills, and it seems like everything just sort of stemmed from our team getting caught out a little bit. But they have a little bit of a blueprint of a way to be successful within the series, I think.
Yeah, so we'll jump in. It'll be just a quick break while we grab game number two. Don't go anywhere. PPC up 1-0 on ROTM. Hopefully this is the right one. Yeah, that looks like the right screen. Sorry, no music. I closed it out and I'm too lazy to bring it back up. So
Who needs music?
yeah, if you want to go ahead and just like silver scrapes for us or something. Just be
I'm good.
woo. Alright, I am all loaded. Let me fix the scoreboard. Alright, whenever you're ready.
I am always ready.
I don't believe that for a single minute, but Welcome back to game number 2 between PPC and Return of the Middlesticks. We're actually staying on the same sides for game number 2. And if you're ready, we'll go ahead and start.
Yep, I am ready.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. And on the blue side of the rift, once again, wearing the blue health bars will be the Poopoo crew. In the top lane will be 43 playing Camille. In the jungle, 23 on Karthus. In mid, 89 on Echo. And then Ot9 and 68 in the bottom lane playing Draven Morgana.
And on the red side, again, no swapping sides this time. We have ROTM with Liposuction Lane reprising his role on the Poppy top. As Zormatas decided to go with the Jarvan jungle this time around. Dat Dang Dude with the Zoe mid. And then Prodigium and Maximus. 1-2-7 in the bottom lane with that Tristana and Taric. As we see perhaps a little bit more standard of a team comp here from PPC. I believe they did a similar thing in their first series in week 1, where they funneled game 1, and game 2 they went with a bit more standard. That said, I think this is the first game that we've seen 43 on a champion not named Azir. This time around, opting for the Camille in the top lane.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that some team has finally banned that Azir. With no gold, it looks really good. With gold, it looked pretty good. I think it just needs to be on the ban table pretty permanently, although there's a lot of things that feel like they need to be on the ban table permanently, so that's, maybe a little bit difficult.
Yeah, you only get so many bans. That said, his Azir seems, pretty okay. Pretty respectable Azir there is. Nothing too spicy here in the level 1, as we see the Karthus jungle, perhaps a pick that sort of fell out of meta, or out of favor rather. Still not terrible. Karthus clears pretty well. A little bit less damage on the ratio on his ultimate. That was the last nerf that Riot threw to him, but we'll see how well he's able to do in this jungle. See if he's able to apply a lot of pressure, even without playing a ganking jungler. Already at level 1, 09 and 68 are really applying a lot of pressure, showing that this is their lane, and Prodigium's going to have to fight for every CS.
And that's kind of a symptom of the picks, even. The Tristana Taric lane, not the strongest early, whereas Draven Morgana, pretty disgusting at all points of the game.
Yeah, I think specifically the Taric pick is just not a very strong laning phase choice. He ends up getting a lot stronger later once you start grouping. His ultimate, of course, is insane, and later on he can apply a lot of heals, but early on you just sort of cede all lane pressure and into a Draven that definitely means that our team's bot lane will have to be playing extremely smart to not give over a massive lead, as we see already the Draven has more than triple the Tristana's CS.
Yeah, Zormata went for a little invade there, a little excursion into Karthus' jungle, discovers that he started on that blue side. Stole, I believe, the wolves. Not the biggest prize in the world. Whereas 23 going for a little bit more traditional, and Karthus gets beat up just a bit by his jungle, so takes an early back in order to grab a Dark Seal.
Yeah, Dark Seal for the extra scaling. Make sure that he's making the most from the kills that he picks up. Is 89 trading in a bit onto Dat Dang Dude on the Zoe. I'm not too familiar with this matchup. It feels like it's probably relatively Echo favored early.
It seems it's always difficult for Zoe to deal with people who can jump directly onto her face, and Echo's pretty good at that. So I would say that it's probably fairly Echo favored, but good Zoes can help keep all of that at arm's length if they need to. So.
For sure. Even when you engage onto her, sometimes all you get for your trouble is a bubble of 3.5 seconds of CC. And, some true damage to send you on your way. Either way, we see a bit of a CS lead here in the mid lane already for Dat Dang Dude. Able to... I don't know if he showed. Yeah. I think Zormata might have showed on that far minion. There's a melee minion in with the casters of RTM, and I feel like he showed, right? 100%.
Yeah. He's going to back out now, but probably wasn't envisioned when he left at least, so they're going to jump in anyway. The double stun into the Black Shield is 68, does flash away before the Black Shield gets taken away, so at least a a successful summoner trade for Prodigium and Maximus as they're pushing back.
Yeah, definitely a little strange though for our team. Maybe not the greatest communication with their new jungler. Is as soon as he leaves, Prodigium decides to jump in. At the end of the day, it is a net positive for them and Summoners, but still could have been just a little bit precarious.
Yeah, I really like the way 43 is playing this lane, by the way. Poppy, uh, usually a pretty good matchup into Camille, but 43 focusing a lot on just using tactical sweep and the precision protocol, the Q, to just deal damage without using hook shot and risking going into the. I can't think of the name of the Poppy W. The bubble.
Steadfast Presence.
Steadfast Presence.
Isn't that it?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Um,
It sounds good. That's all that really matters.
but yeah, Poppy is, traditionally speaking at least, a massive counter to Camille. Sort of makes your life hell, but 43 doing a pretty good job of keeping up in CS, and even building himself a lead and, what should probably not be a favorable matchup as we see Zormata might be looking for a gank here on the bottom lane.
Yeah, they're going to jump in with the explosive shot. They know that there's no Smite on 68. That should be at least one kill. Although Prodigium gets taken low, he's going to flash forward, and Ot9 picks up first blood on the Draven. Or, I don't know which one. Yeah, first blood on the Draven. And the Blood Rush, not quite able to sidestep the knock-up Zormata, and the stun will finish him off, and Zormata picks up the double kill on the Jarvan.
And that's a good return gank there from Zormata, as he knew that the Morgana didn't have flash. They're able to go down there and pick up a couple of kills, apply a bit of pressure. Unfortunately for them, the Draven does get to cash in, and Tristana didn't pick up either of the kills and is actually down in CS by a significant margin. So already down 800 gold just personally, from Draven to Tristana.
Yeah, that's basically that whole Vamp Scepter now that Ot9 has, and to Ot9's credit, he saw his moment, went in with the flash just to take down Prodigium. Not quite able to sidestep the flag and drag, but everything's still scaling up nicely for both sides, I guess. As long as Prodigium, if he can keep this CS disadvantage where it is, I'd say that's probably a successful lane phase for Tristana. If it gets a whole lot worse, though, then you have to start looking at, maybe the Tristana not quite being the correct pick in this situation.
Yeah, I think normally if, at like 10 or 12 minutes, you're coming out of laning phase down about 15 CS, you're feeling pretty good as this Tristana. But once you start reaching that deficit and more, at like the 7-minute mark, it's very scary. Just because this Draven is going to be so significantly stronger than this Tristana for most of the mid game, when he has that lead. As we see Zormata able to take away the blue buff, actually engaged onto 23, able to burn the
Yeah, gets the flash, but Ot9, they have the ult from Morgana. Go ahead and blow the soul shackles immediately, but Prodigium will stay alive thanks to the rocket jump. Now Zormata's in top lane, hits the auto attack, didn't get the stun into the wall. Camille uses the ult just to get a little bit of invulnerability, tries to walk out. Keeper's Verdict will knock him up, but the flash over from 23, he'll get slowed by the golden Aegis of Zormata. He doesn't have the ultimate available and is losing the auto attack trade to 43, and Camille will walk out. Lane looking for a little bit more. I don't think that he really wants it right now, though.
Yeah, and a little bit late flash there by Liposuction lane. I wish they had been able to flash in and use the Steadfast Presence to cancel the Camille E, the hook shot. Either way, they're able to get the flash out of Camille in trade for a couple of, or their own top laner splash.
Bubble doesn't quite land there, and 89 may be looking for a little bit better trade onto that dang dude. But for now, mid lane will calm down, bot lane will calm down. Prodigium has regen back a little bit of that health that he was missing, so not directly in danger right now, although here comes Karthus ult, just I guess to test the waters, maybe pick up a Dark Harvest stack.
He's applying that pressure as he's
stacking his tier in base, he sold his...
He has a support item.
He sold his jungle item for, the support item.
For the GP10. He hit level 6, man. Karthus jungle, just have to hit level 6 and you're a champion. As we see Liposuction lane ganking, trying to get a little bit...
he gets chucked down. The Ignite's going to take him down now as 89. The dunk comes through as Zormata does find the return kill. He's on a killing spree. Is this the AFK Karthus strategy?
It is, man. He got his GP10. He's stacking the tier. What more could you want from a jungle Karthus? He hits 6. He can gank everyone. Perhaps going to be ulting off cooldown. you know, it's the spicy strat.
Yeah, there's a very famous League of Legends video highlighting the acceptability of this strat. Um, would recommend that as especially if you're a newer League player, very worthwhile. Um, it also involves, manufacturing your own keyboard and removing every key that isn't R. So I don't know if 23 committed that hard because he was farming earlier, but
Yeah, especially since looking at it, it appears that he's actually using his Q to stack his tiers. So perhaps, putting his own spin on that, realizing that Karthus has more than one spell, really showing that challenger prowess here, showing why he has that backpack.
Zormata looking for a little bit more. He finds the Golden Aegis. They'll get the Terra Gold onto all three as they jump forward onto Ot9. But 68 does such a good job zoning everybody off. He'll get the double stun as Ot9 turns back a little bit of damage with these spinning axes, and they'll find the Dark Binding onto Maximus. The press the attack damage is so good, and that'll force Maximus to flash away as well. If 23 had a Karthus ult right about now, that could be good. Unfortunately on cooldown right now.
Unfortunately, it's unavoidable. Sometimes it's just on cooldown. But it's so scary to gank a Draven lane, especially when Draven's ahead. If you don't land the initial CC, if you don't land the initial damage, he will turn it on you. As we see, he was able to chase 3 people out of his lane, and RTM leaves after the gank, licking their wounds a little bit. Burnt the heal on the Draven, but that's about it. As we see that dang dude canceling the recall of the Echo. Always feels just a little bit bad to be that Echo, but either way.
Yeah, and if you're RTM, it's tough right now. You have losing side lanes and a mid lane that's pretty much even. But we haven't seen that pressure really being applied outside of lane, going in and ganking in quotation marks and dying to the Echo. Um, it feels like you need to try to put a little pressure there to help that dang dude get an advantage, because that would be the only way that you realistically have to come back and get an advantage in the game.
Yeah, I definitely think it'd be helpful for them. That said, there's a full enemy jungle that they could probably go and farm if they wanted to. I'm not sure if they've realized yet that Karthus is, in base. I'm sort of disappointed. Is his ultimate off cooldown? Oh, there we go. He's ulting
Okay.
off cooldown. I was going to be disappointed that he was holding on to it, but no, he is indeed ulting off cooldown. Making a full use of that ultimate. Giving it maximum uptime. Um, Gotta respect the ingenuity here from PPC.
Yeah, they've showed us some really creative strategies. This one no different. Right now it's netted them a kill disadvantage and a dragon disadvantage, but gold lead. Now 43 will swap down into the bottom lane as they put their Draven and Morgana up in top side, and 43 feeling pretty strong. I'm kind of interested actually attacking Maximus gets the physical damage shield right now as Ot9 gets jumped on into the jacuzzi. He'll get taken down though. That jacuzzi not full of refreshing gamer girl bathwater, instead full of enemies as he gets taken down, and liposuction lane will send Ot9 off into the distance, but will go down himself. It's 2 for 0 up in the top side for PPC. As 98 or 89, excuse me, looks for a little bit more. They find that dang dude. He'll hit the ultimate, and Draven's tanking tower. That's not a healthy look for him, as he will go down. That dang dude trying to find just that little bit extra damage. Won't quite find it onto 89.
As we see RTM being just a little bit too aggressive. Liposuction lane in the 3-0. Jarvan Zermata thought that they could take down the Draven, but that is a bloodthirster Draven who is able to just turn that around, pick up a kill for himself, and PPC at the end of the day went from a 1k gold lead to a 4k now. 4.5k.
Oh, Zormata in lane looking for 68. That will be one return kill, and they'll just find Echo executing himself to that inner turret. Now 43, maybe looking to scrap with this bottom lane again. He came out all right the last time that they fight.
So here's the question.
Well, he's going to hook shot in. Terracult coming down. The stun doesn't connect onto anybody, and now Prodigium and Maximus in trouble. Prodigium will go down to another spinning axe as Ot9 picks up his third kill of the game.
Yeah, pretty spicy there. So here's quick bet. Karthus is currently at 348, 352 tier stacks. At what minute do you think that he will end up completing his tier?
Um, it's gonna be a while longer because he won't have enough gold to finish it off unless he gets some. Oh,
Oh no,
nine's
I
dead.
just mean stacking the
Oh,
tier.
just
As we
stacking
see
the
a
tier. Oh, Zormata. Oh,
Bloodthirster Draven.
Draven's just. Morgana's there just in time to help save out 9 as he'll cash out once again.
Yeah. As
Uh,
Karthus again making full use of his ultimate, you know, making sure if you don't ult off cooldown when it's just sitting there, you know, you're not getting maximum use out of it. So really really making full use of this. We see 43
oh,
able to
Lane's
trade.
actually winning these trades all right. He's still got the Hextech Ultimatum available if he needs it. Stun doesn't quite connect the Soul Shackles from 68, just getting a little bit of distance now is Ot9 able to rejoin the fight. Spinning Axe is coming forward and Prodigium's dead, so is Maximus. Well, it's not a double kill. They shared them. That's awfully kind of them. 43 should go down here, though. That's a nice pickup on the other side of the map. Zormata's 5-2 on Jarvan.
Yeah, a little bit better of a game this time around. You know, he's been pretty effective on this, was able to apply a lot of early pressure. A couple of bad choices
Oh,
going into Draven have led to his deaths, and there's another one. All 3 times engaging onto Draven. You know, maybe he should be a bit more wary of doing so. Make sure that he really does have the numbers. As
yeah, Jacuzzi just
PBC's
a
able
little
to
bit
pick up
too
the
warm
second
for
turret.
him. um,
Just wanted to point out that the AFK Karthus has the same number of items as that dang dude in the mid lane. Uh, you know, that GP10 has really been effective for him as we see 89 engaging in.
Yeah, 89 engaging in. Maximus will get chunked down. He has the
Oh,
Aftershock proc, but the
Ignite.
last tick of Ignite will take him down. They do trade support for support now as O9 in trouble as Zormata and Liposuction Lane rejoin the fray. I think that he eventually falls this time. No, he's going to pick up the kill on Zormata. He cashes out, gets the Blood Rush. Not quite able to turn another one, though. Yeah, just really good kiting from O9 there as he picks up another one in a situation where he shouldn't.
Yeah, now he's extremely strong on this Draven pick. Has completed the Infinity Edge, is going towards maybe an LDR, Lord Dominic's Regard, for that third item. Um, unless does Essence Reaver build out of pickaxe on this patch? I
I,
don't think it does.
I can't keep track. I'm not an AD carry. That was an interesting buffering of the charge. 43. You know, kind of looking for the 1v3 here. He's going to jump onto Prodigium. That Tristana is dead for the 4th time this game, and now they'll clean up a couple more. Zormata comes back in just looking for the kill onto 43. The flash out, though, from Camille is good. The turret ult doesn't connect. Now Zormata goes down. The Dark Binding sails just a little bit wide as Maximus trying to fancy feet his way out of this one. Oh, the Karthus ult. Oh, it was almost in time to actually pick up an assist.
It was almost useful, but you know, I'm glad that it wasn't, because otherwise, you know, 23 might have ruined his perfect score. That, you know, perfect 0-0-0 scoreline. And that would have been tragic. So we check in, and he's
Yeah, going
still
onto that thing,
second.
dude, maybe trying to get him that assist as they force onto the Zoe underneath turret. Um, yeah, they have full map control. They can do whatever they want, and they're choosing to siege the mid tower and the bottom tower at the same time. Retrail's been summoned in the base. That dang dude is dead. No assist to
Yeah.
Karthus. Oh, Poppy's here. They're looking for a little bit more. Everybody just kind of jumps right in. Prodigium actually picks up the kill. I feel a little bit bad for the Morgana as she's died a couple of times this game as Ot9 picks up another one. Auto attack gets canceled there, but the flash forward from Ot9 is good. Double kill for Draven as they push forward onto the inner turret.
Yeah, no, they're PBC, even in a 4v5, have been able to come out on top in most of these skirmishes, and are now looking at a 11.5k gold lead. You know, just looking pretty strong at this point, you know?
Yeah, they've got to
I,
worry a little bit about Shelly in the mid lane. She might be able to get a turret, which would ruin the almost perfect game that they've got. The 9 kills, I guess, the outlier there, but they'll go ahead and grab
almost.
Shelly. Oh, she got the
Almost.
charge off.
Which, for a late Herald drop, you know, right before it runs out is probably the best that you could expect from it. You know, pretty good for our team there. So they're able to get a little bit of damage on there. If they're able to get just a little bit of free time with that mid lane turret, it should go down pretty fast. As we see 89 on the Echo.
Oh, they
Feeling pretty
get
confident.
knocked into the stun with the blast cone. 89 gonna use the chrono shift. No, that's Zillion's ult. Chrono break to get back out of there. And now Zormata, they're just trying to pick on Morgana, I guess. The Soul Shackle's coming out into the Jacuzzi, the flash forward from Prodigium, but it'll just be the flash from 68 to get it, Morgana out.
Yeah, and they really are just sort of picking on this Morgana. You know, Morgana making up for almost half of her team stats, but with the flash, they're able to get out. As we see, Draven was able to complete the Lord Dominic's Regard, so even any armor that our team's gonna build won't matter too much, as we got our 2-minute check-in with Karthus as he ulted just to see how everyone's doing, see if he's able to pick up a kill. No? Okay, I'll see you guys again in 2 minutes.
Yep. You know, almost there on the tier. I don't believe quite has enough to complete the Archangel's staff, so we won't see the big power spike. 43 looking for that dang dude. He'll get slept over the wall. Oh, that's actually a pretty good chunk from that dang dude.
Oh no, that teleport?
TP coming in from liposuction lane. Doesn't immediately get hit by any CC though. That'll just be the back off from PPC.
Yeah, perhaps feeling like there were a lot more ROTM members backing it up. I mean, it is still a 5v4. You know, I don't want to discount the contributions that Karthus is making to his team, but you know, in terms of able bodies at the fight, it would be a 5v4, and maybe our team would be able to come out on top. Although looking at this 11k gold lead, it's perhaps insurmountable. As we're actually opting for an ARAM instead. I like this.
Yeah, embracing
really...
our LCS roots. Oh, the Draven ult comes through. The Whirling Death, not quite able to get it. They do finish off Taric just before that. Zormata goes in, just trying to find the kill onto the support. Poppy gonna go ahead and disengage as they're not able to find anything. And it's a 2-for-0 for PPC, and it looks like the Baron's going to be in their eyes.
Yeah, Zormata really dislikes that Morgana, trying so hard to engage onto her. PPC should be able to pick up the Baron here as we check back in with our Karthus. Has completed the Archangel's staff, you know, hitting that power spike. You know, 22 minutes. It could be a pretty scary boy by, you know, the 50-minute mark. I wonder if he has Gathering Storm. Is there a way to check?
Yeah, I feel like Predator would be the way to go if you're trying to maximize your damage. I don't know if that's...
That's pretty big brain, but then he would have had to buy boots.
Oh, that's true, yeah. That 300 gold investment would have delayed the Archangel staff.
It would have. I mean, and then, you know, where would his power... or... As we see, you know, Camille found Maximus there just for a second in the river. We see a 5-level differential there. You know, Poopoo crew just a little bit stronger, just the tiniest bit stronger.
Yeah, Zormata even giving up the Scuttle Crab. That's a juggler pathing away from Scuttle Crab in the current year. I didn't think I'd see it.
I mean, 100% he's flaming his team in chat, right? You know, where was his team to help him protect his crab? Why did he have to back off of it? You know, it's tragic. You hate to see it. You really do. That's okay. He's gonna take a wave mid, you know, to soothe his pain.
Oh, blind binding over the wall finds Maximus.
Yeah, and we see
oh, Prodigium gonna just jump away from the dark binding. You know, PPC haven't done a whole lot with this Baron. We'll see if they can get a siege down before it ticks off.
You know, as we saw last game.
Oh, binding lands. They'll jump in. They'll immediately eliminate the Taric. No ultimate available for him as they continue to jump in. It's a double kill for Echo. Triple kill for Echo, but Draven picks up one. Unfortunately, we won't see the pentakill coming out as 89 looking for a little bit more. Does he want the turret or the Nexus fountain laser? Doesn't look like it. So that should be the end of the series.
Ooh, this time around, we see the evolution of the Poopoo crew as they figured out how to not only kill inhibitors but also kill uh, Nexus turrets. You know, really seeing just so much out of them. The evolution of this team is really great to watch. They're becoming, really formidable. You know, one day they might be able to figure out how to play with 5 complete members. And then, who's to say who could really stop them?
Yeah, so that's a 2-0 win for the Poopoo crew. Um, let's take a quick gander at our schedule. So middle Return of the Middlesticks will be knocked into the losers bracket where they will play uh, the Saucy Summoners. It looks like next weekend at 3 p.m. Uh, and that'll jump Poopoo crew into the winners bracket final, which will be played on July 20th. So 2 weeks from now at 6 p.m. So
2 weeks from now at 6 p.m. All right.
yeah, that'll do it for us. Um, the next game will be 6:30 p.m. It's EXT taking on the MSU Bears. Marooned squad should be pretty exciting series. The winner of that game will take on Poopoo Crew in the winners final, and the loser will drop down into the losers bracket to take on the Piltover Pokes. So uh, should be an exciting game. You guys won't want to miss that here in about 3.5 hours. So thanks guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed that meme of a cast, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for tuning in.
Oh, I never made a stream ending one. Here's a BRB screen.
Oh no. Well, we will be right back, right? 3 hours?
Three
Three and a half?
hours. Yeah, 3.5 hours. We'll be right back.